Hello everybody, Chris here. So here is the way that I like to level strings. I found to be the easiest. First of all, this is my tool that I use. And what it does is it sits underneath the strings, and this rests underneath the strings, and then you vibrate the strings on top of that platform. Turns out this plastic that I use is really great for this. I was using brass, steel, but this kind of plastic here, it's 1/4 inch plastic. I got it in sheets. It just has a way of buzzing on the string that's very easy to hear. So that's a big improvement right there, just the plastic alone. Then, so here that goes up and down like that. The tricky part about making this, when I made this, was that, and if you're going to make this too, this is going to be the tricky part, is getting that to be a perfect 90 and parallel with the bass. The bass is going to be sitting on the back of the key bed, and you want that to be parallel, so that's pretty tricky to do. So as you can see, this was cut out. Well, this used to be a bigger board so that I could, in the end, when I get this all set up on there, that this would be parallel with the bass. And how you prove that, once you do that, is you take this out, turn it around, and see if you get the same readings on the strings. And then when you get the same readings, no matter which way you turn it, then you know you're parallel. So that's just a little tip there. And then another thing about this was the way this is made is that this is so that this doesn't have a side play, and yet it moves freely. You want it to move freely. Then the spring. The spring's another neat feature here, and I'll push on the thing here. See how that works? The spring is pushing that back up, and it's not too hard. I picked a gauge. You see, what gauge was that? That was like 17.5 or something like that. 17 gauge, somewhere around there. And then I make my own springs. That's, you use a hand drill on a with a steel rod or a bolt or something like that, and then you wrap the wire around there and you make a spring. So anyways, there's the spring. That's a clear shot. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut off here for a second, but then I'm gonna have this set up underneath the piano and level a couple strings so you can see how it works. All right. Notice I put the gauge underneath where the hammer is gonna hit. Up there is a different one. Okay, plucking it with my thumb, I can pluck it a little harder. So here we go. That one rings. That one doesn't. So I'm going to lift the one on the right. Got my little string hook right here. In fact, I use two tools. I use a string hook, and I use my brass driver. Well worn there. Obviously, I call it the green-handled speckled tool. Okay, so the right one, I'm going to lift up a little bit. Test it again. Okay, the right one still needs to come up. That's it. I probably can push down a little bit. I think it needs to come up a little bit. You can go back and forth a lot of times on when you're leveling strings. Okay, I'm going to push down a hair. That sounds identical to me. So there you go. Now just for, I think I'll go over here to the steel strings. There we go. Okay. That's not hitting. That's barely hitting. And that's resting on it. So I'm going to lift the one on the right up. I'm going to pull on it. And pulling the one on the right. And just a little bit on the middle one. Okay, and test it again. Okay, the two on the right got to still come up. Okay. Okay, the middle one came up too far. I'm going to push down on the middle one. Okay, the right one's got to come up. The right one's got to come up. Okay, I went too high with the right one, the left two. Okay, push down on the right. Okay, I'm going to push on the middle one in the left. Okay, the left one's got to come up a little. There we go. I'd say the middle one's got to come down a little bit. I'm getting really close. Okay, I did nothing. And up a little. Well, it sure moves easily. Okay, maybe the right one a hair. Left one a hair down. See what that does. Yep, that one just a little too far. Trying to get this close. Oh, there we go. So see how useful that tool is, getting those nice and level? So my favorite tool for leveling strings. So there you go. Thank you and be well.